study. I didn't watch the videos. Okay. Hey guys, this is Hannah here, and I recently took the DAT on March 19th of 2022, and I thought I would give you guys some tips and tricks on how I study for the DAT. Let's get started. So before I start on the details on how I study for the exam, I think I'll give you guys my background on where I was when I was preparing myself to take the exam. At the time, I was a full-time student. I was taking biochem, physics, microbiology, and then other elective courses. And I was working on average to 10 to 20 hours as a dental assistant, and I was volunteering at my church as a children ministry teacher for 3rd to 5th graders. Even though it's a lot, I can manage all of that. It's all time management. I just have to sacrifice my social life for the next 3 months. Original test date was January 28th of 2022, but I moved it because of personal reason. So because of that reason, I moved my test to March 19th of 2022, giving me another 3 months to study. So on the day of the test, I was very excited to get this test over with. I was like, I am studying way too long for the exam. Like, for the last month and a half, I really did not study. I was the bad influencer in the study group, bringing my Nintendo Switch every Thursday to play Mario Party, Super Smash Bros, and Mario Kart with my friends when we were supposed to study. So I was a bad influence, but I felt ready and there was no need for me to study. So that's why I had a little bit fun. But I wish I had taken it sooner. I think I could have taken it in February, or maybe I didn't have to move my test date, but I did. I made a video of my morning that day, and I'll pin it right there for you guys to see how I prepare myself the morning of the test. Before the test, the whole morning, I was saying, "You got this, girl, fighting girl," you know? If you guys remember that scene from, what is it, Business Proposal, that Korean drama. So I had that.
Yes, fighting girl, fighting!
Scene going in my head, saying I got this, you know, positive thoughts, positive vibes on the test day. Now moving on to the questions. So the questions are, how similar were the study materials to the actual DAT? What was your stats on your studying materials? What materials did you use? How long did you study? How many hours? How was the biology section, OChem section? Let's get diving into those questions. So I used DAT Bootcamp and Booster. But for Booster, I only used it for their biology section test, individual test. That's the only reason why I used it. But for Bootcamp, I used all of their lecture videos for biology, OChem, Gen Chem, the PAT. But I didn't watch any reading or math videos because I was pretty strong in those, because after taking my first full-length test, I got a 20 on all of them. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna focus on the science section and the PAT because that's the main concern. I need to pull my score up. I didn't use any of the study schedule that is provided online because I found it more useful just doing it my way, because I knew where my strengths were and my weakness was. The first day of studying, I watched all the PAT videos that the DAT Bootcamp provide. The reason why I watched it all in one day is because in those videos, they will teach you tips and tricks on how to solve each different problem. Why not watch all those videos, and I can practice little by little using those tricks I learned at day 1 every day, so to improve my score. The next videos I watched was Gen Chem. Gen Chem is my strongest section out of all of them because I had a really good professor my freshman year that taught Gen Chem to me, and I still remember all the concepts she taught me. So I think 2 to 3 days I finished all the videos that Dr. Mike on DAT Bootcamp provided us. I watched all those videos, did all the practice problems that he provides, and I was like, oh, this is easy. I just had to memorize certain formula, equation, and some of the common polyatomic names. And luckily on the exam, I didn't really have any polyatomic names that I needed to know. It was kind of given. That's how I studied for the first 2 weeks. And then OChem. OChem, I watched all the videos that Dr. Mike provided, did all the practice questions. I was like, oh, this is really easy. There's a pattern. If I memorized the DAT bootcamp cheat sheet for OChem, I'll be set. Because like I realized once I took like 1 or 2 OChem practice tests, I saw a pattern. Recognizing those patterns, I was able to eliminate my answers and be like, oh, this is obvious now. And I was able to get 1 or 2 down. I saved biology for last. I'd rather study biology closer to my test date because it will be fresher in my mind. So I left the last month to study for biology. And at the end of 2021, something happened, and then I pushed my date, and I had another 3 months to study. Study. Basically, the month of January, I did not study at all. I just took that month off, just took a mental break, physical break and everything, enjoying my winter break, just relaxing, doing nothing. And yeah, that's how I relaxed. And then I started studying when school started, which was like January 18, I think, like 2nd or 3rd week of January. So that's when I started to study. During mid of January till March, I guess, no, I didn't really study in March, till February, all I did during that time was study for biology. Now I'm going to show you guys how I took my notes. So this is my OChem notes. So basically I watched the videos and took notes like this, quick notes. And let's see, let me find a reaction notes. So the way I took like reaction, oh, these are naming notes. Let's see here, like reaction notes, I wrote it down like this. And then once I watched the like section 13 notes or whatever, each section notes, I will go to their question banks. So this is chapter 7 question banks, and I'll write every single question down and see like how like the mechanism works, because that let me recognize the patterns. So once I recognize those patterns, like, oh, every time I see these reagents, it's always going to be this and stuff like that. So that's how I studied for OChem. And then for OChem 2, I made flashcards. The starting reaction on one side and the result on the other side, with the mechanism and why that works on the question that I had trouble with. As for Gen Chem, let's see, DAT Bootcamp, I just use the Mike's video Gen Chem lesson outline and just wrote notes and like why I got it wrong and stuff like that. So basically that's all I did for Gen Chem. And then I'm pretty sure you guys are waiting for this section, is biology. Biology is a lot of content and it is exhausting and you don't want to do it because it's like overwhelming, but you guys can do it. So basically what I did first is the DAT Biochem on my bootcamp biology notes, the condensed one. I basically went through it through my iPad and wrote notes on the side. So like here I kind of wrote notes right there, and then I realized that even though I read the condensed notes like 3 or 4 times, it wouldn't stick into my head because I didn't have any strong foundation in biology. So the way I study next for biology, once I realized that it wasn't sticking in my head, is I watch all the DAT bootcamp biology videos and followed it with the DAT bootcamp academic or academy notes that they provide on the website. And then the way I took notes for biology videos, instead of like writing the facts right away, I wrote my own questions like this and then the answer for each section. So if each video had like a diagram or anything, I will use a blank piece of paper, hole punch it, and just draw it out. I will just like draw it out and or print it out like this, like the diagram. But yeah, I thought drawing my own like heart and diagram stuff was like very beneficial, because once I drew everything out, I'm like, oh, I know hormone information was like right around here. See, I just like having like thing written out, like hormones or any like biology content, I'm like, oh, that hormone came after this page, and I knew the information. So that's how I study. And then after I did drawings and then question and answer kind of notes, did repetition studying. So I have this big whiteboard right there in my room, and I just drew out the diagram over and over again to make sure it sticks. The main thing I drew on the whiteboard is the hormones. I thought the hormone was gonna be rough for me, so because some of the names are very similar and the effect is very similar too, so I just wrote it all out over and over again on the whiteboard. Next question is, how many practice tests did I take? I took 1.5 practice tests. What I mean by that is, the first practice test I took the science section very seriously. I took my time on everything and all of that. And the next section was PAT. I took my time on that. And then after that, I didn't take a break. I just went straight to reading. I did that. Math, I did not put any effort in math, because I was like, this is gonna be my rough draft. I just know where I'm at kind of right now, so you know what, math is my strong suit. I don't need to focus on that. Submitted my exam, got a 16 on it. I'm like, okay, cool, this is expected. So for biology, I got less than a 14. Gen Chem, I got an 18 on my first try, and then for OChem, I got a 16. And then reading, I got a 21, which I was surprised because I suck at reading. And then for the PAT, I got a 20, I think. And then for math, I got some other score. But basically, I got a 16 overall. And then as for the second test, I took the second test once I did all the studying for all the section. After I did Gen Chem studying, after I did all Chem studying, after I did PAT studying, after I did all the biology studying, I took my second practice test. On the second practice test, I just took the science section, PAT, and math. Reading, I did not care about. I do not like reading. I did not want to waste my time on that when I could focus on my weakness once my score came out. So after I took those tests, I got an 18. That's why I say 1.5, because on the first test I didn't take the math section, and the second test I didn't take the reading section. So yeah, that's the only test I took, but that's like full length. I took a lot of individual tests. I took 15 biology tests, 8 OChem tests, 5 Gen Chem tests, 3 math tests, 2 to 5 2 PAT tests, and a lot of question bank, and 1 reading test from the first full-length test. I heard on the Facebook group chat that the DAT booster was very representative of the biology section. So in February, I purchased the booster to just take biology tests. So basically all I use booster for is taking all of their 10 biology practice tests. And then I took another 5 on the DAT bootcamp for biology. That's how I got 15. Hey guys, this is Hannah. I'm in California right now, and as I was editing for the DAT tip video, I realized I forgot to inform you guys how I study after taking the practice exam. So for biology, all those 15 practice exams, I took it less than 10 minutes. I just went through it because I was like, I know it or not. So I went through all those questions in 10 minutes for each practice test, and then saw which one I got wrong, and then wrote it down. So I'm gonna show you guys my notes on my computer here. So basically, as you can see here, I did the correct answer, wrote the correct answer right there, and then answer, and then sometime when I didn't know like the definition, I will write their explanation in a different color, as you can see in green. So yeah, so I also did that with the other section too. Here, Gen Chem, I did some here. I'm like, I highlighted some here because I was like, oh, this is something I have to memorize. Gen Chem did that, and then OChem. OChem, here is some of it, some of the reactions. And then for math, I did some too. Because math, I realized that as I did like 1 or 2 practice questions, I had trouble in their probability. So most of my corrections are probability questions. How long did I study? So the first, I studied for like, I guess 4.5 months technically. 4 to 4.5 months. And beginning, I studied for like 13 12 hours. Towards the end, I only studied like 2 to 3 hours a week. So I went to 12 to 13 hours a day to 2 to 3 hours a week. So and so I kind of trickled down my study hours. How would I compare DAT Bootcamp, DAT Booster to the actual DAT? In my opinion, I thought the actual DAT was so much easier than the DAT Booster and DAT Bootcamp. I was able to finish the science section, the biology, OChem, and Gen Chem all in 40 minutes when I have 90 minutes. So I was able to finish that in 40 minutes, but I used the rest of the time to double check my work. I only double checked my Gen Chem and OChem work. I didn't check my biology work just because I realized with biology, it's you know it or not. Don't double guess your answer, just go with your guts. That's why I didn't double check my biology section, because it was just facts, you know. So since it was just facts based, I didn't have a reading passage like the MCAT. I just had to spit out all these facts that I know. I just skimmed through them as fast as I can. I'm like, oh, I recognize this answer. Oh, I recognize this answer. I skimmed them and then went to the next section. Oh yeah. As for the biology section, I actually saw like at least 5 to 10 questions from DAT Booster on my actual DAT. So I think purchasing Booster along with DAT Bootcamp was useful in my end because I got lucky that some of the questions were very similar. So yeah, I thought that the actual DAT was actually easier, as in the science section. The PET was very similar. Reading, I think, was pretty similar too. Math, a lot easier. Okay, the final big reveal is my score. So my score is not like ridiculously high like some people who got like 24, 28, 29, 30. Okay, I got a pretty like decent score. I'm not that crazy. So academic average, I got a 21. Science average, I got a 20. Okay, and then here we go on the details. The perceptual ability, I got a 21. Quantitative reasoning, I got a 23. Reading comprehension, I got 20. Biology, I got 20. General chemistry, I got 21. Organic chemistry, I got a 20. Now I hope this video was really helpful for you guys on how to study for the DAT and how to prepare yourself to take the DAT. If you guys have any questions, please comment below and I will reply to you guys as soon as possible. And for those who are taking it soon, I wish you guys luck and thank you for watching. Bye!